Hi, everybody. All right, let's get things moving. Today is September 3rd, 2021. This is episode 163 of Maelstrom Radio. Maelstrom Radio. With your hosts, Gladys and Shitter. And welcome, everybody, to Maelstrom Radio. My name is Peter. With me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Quentin. Also with us is our producer and the lady who puts up with my bullshit. it's Susan Sprinkle. Hi.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm a guest.
You are a guest.
Do I get to show my smoles?
Yeah. You can
Later segment.
Fine,
We
fine.
got to start with our that's in the future.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about my smoles.
All right, I got my smalls on me too.
Well, you're not supposed to show your smalls every week. It's the
I got a special small.
Oh.
Okay. I don't have a special small.
Mm.
No, I don't have a special small.
Just this week
Anyway.
only, so.
So as always, we talk about what we've been up to this past week, gaming or otherwise. So what have we been doing this past week?
We played Terraria.
Uh-huh.
We accidentally ran into the twins and died painfully. We found a way to
Alphino
construct
and
a guard.
Nalze?
Yeah, the twins, we died.
Yeah.
We died pretty bad on those. We weren't expecting them. We'll do better next time.
Nobody suspects the twins.
No. We created the Graveyard Biome by accident.
Uh-huh.
That was a good discovery.
Yep.
It's
We
because
started
there was
mining.
like too many dead bodies around your house, right?
Yeah, we had too many gravestones in the same area because we both died to the twins. And it was like, hey, look, fog. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, that's fog.
Yeah. Honestly, Terraria is pretty great. It's a great game. It's so good. I love it. I honestly do love Terraria. It's like, or I know it was like we were kind of unsure about it, but I think it's grown on us. It's grown.
It's pretty good.
Every
Yeah.
week, there's always like a weird new character. Like you got in touch with your wizard yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I found the bound wizard.
We got it.
He's into some stuff.
Oh boy. Well, you know.
Get in touch with your wizard.
So
He hasn't revealed the 8 levels of magic yet, though, so
No.
we'll work on it.
I was gonna say I would rate Terraria
10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, best game.
best game. 100.
Nah, it's no Hades.
Oh, ooh. Yeah, all right.
Oh, this is the worst game I've ever played.
Aw. Is that new?
That's new.
Those are both new.
Relevant.
That's why
Relevant
he's like
content.
wanting to touch them.
Uh-huh.
Strong bad. Very current reference. That I get it.
I unlocked I also played Final Fantasy and I unlocked the dwarf beast drive. So
Final Fantasy.
I still don't have stuff.
so you still
I don't have crafters. I got my machinist to 70 though, and we got some dogs.
So you'll eventually get the lolly hop dance from the dwarves, and that's exciting. It's a good dance.
All right, cool. Oh, that's a dance. I didn't think about that. It is a dance. I'm more excited about the tank. I get to build the tank.
Tank is cool too.
So, and I'm still able to craft the stuff early on with whatever jank gear I got. I don't think it's good. I'm like a mishmash of bad.
Their stuff doesn't have to be high quality right away, I don't think.
Okay, good. I'm just a mishmash of bad, so that's what I'm doing.
And put that in the show titles.
Now I feel like you're playing two sides. You can have the show titles, and you can tell which show titles we're going to use.
I know. I already put the thing in that I said before the show started on the list.
This was not my intention.
Oh no! Now I got the Gaia. Oh no. Susan, what have you been up to this week? I knew that one was coming.
Nothing exciting, really. I've been like
You
busy with work.
Did you decorated my house?
That's true. Quentin made me a like authorized user on his in-game house, and I decorated his yard and posted a picture of it in our FC's Discord, and I think it looks really cute. And there's trees that you can get from the Mount Golg dungeon that have dyeable pots, and they're very stylish. And people were selling them on the market board for like 50 gil, so I snagged all of them.
Yeah.
And someday I will rule the tiny tree market on
You'll have the
Gilgamesh.
tiny tree. That's what it's all about.
So
Hoarding many pots of tiny trees.
So,
like,
should we Mulan this?
do you say Mulan?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Let's get down to business.
Wrong
Wrong genre.
I
Oh,
don't get references.
that's.
I've never seen Mulan. I'm sorry.
Ah, great movie. You should watch it.
Yeah, I'll make a man out.
It's on Disney Plus. Not the live action one, the old animated one.
No, yeah.
I've heard the live action one is garbage.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
So we.
But let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Come on.
Yeah,
Good reference.
it's true. It is a great reference.
It would have been a
is good
perfect
movie.
segue if you got it.
It is a very good movie. So it's time to rejoice because it's time for Susan to show her smalls. Susan, rejoice!
Oh, are we on Smalls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Smalls was after news. All right, we're at Smalls time.
It's our show. We can do what we want.
Peter just really wants to use his soundboard. That's the only reason.
I have
really
so
trying to-
many new things on here. You have no
He's really
idea.
trying to shoehorn it in there. All right. So this is my featured small. This is, I think his name is Steve. He's a tiny duck with a bowling
Steve.
ball and a bowling shirt. Steve.
Maybe
Does
put
he
your
rule the
hand
universe?
behind Steve. Oh, well, it's not working.
Is that better?
Steve's yellow, so
No.
Steve's the green
No.
on the green screen. It's
No.
fine. Steve's okay.
I'll post a picture on Twitter.
Yeah.
He's a small duck with
Yeah.
a bowling shirt and a bowling ball.
Yeah.
I don't know if this will show up either. Then I also have dice.
Yeah.
Oh, those are very pretty dice. The stream cannot see them, but we can see them, and they are a very pretty blue color.
Mm-hmm.
We got to figure out how to make that work.
You can't really do it with the green screen.
Yeah, green screen's
And then I also have a beverage, which that shows up on stream. It is from a
I'm partially
localish.
it would.
It's from a localish brewery called Rheingeist in Cincinnati, and it's called Sunspun Shandy, and it's a shandy with grapefruit and orange juice, and it's really good.
I have a local.
Mine is raspberry lime water.
Maelstrom Radio promotes responsible drinking, by the way.
I have a
Sparkling water.
Krogman's honey apple.
Thank you, Talon.
Honey and apple
Oh,
flavored
thanks,
whiskey.
Alan.
Talon says that we look really great tonight. Thank you.
So I
Well-
knew I was going to be a guest on the podcast, so I thought, like, when you go to a concert, it's cool to wear a band shirt as long as it's not the band that you're going to see. So I wore my Doughboy shirt.
Why is that us?
Oh no, Mitch!
You just need squint
Oh.
to your eyeballs.
I don't know what the reference is that what your shirt is, but I mean, look at it.
I'm doing Mitch right now. Mitch.
I don't know what's familiar with the podcast of Doughboys. It's a podcast about chain restaurants.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Think sound bites, but for chain restaurants, but also an hour long.
With like
No,
high
it's not the bite-sized podcast. It's the
No.
full 7-course meal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Except it's all fast food.
Yeah, and it's got like pretty high quality guests and much better production value than sound bites.
Hey.
Hey, Talon,
I mean, I'm the producer
Talon-
of sound bites. I could shit on it. That's fine.
That's not how that works.
if you're not paying attention, Talon, I'm telling you now, you should come back and watch the video to see my smalls.
I by the way, I Talon brought it up that it looks like I'm drinking a dark and stormy, but actually, I don't know if it's Krogman's.
Oh, look at small.
This is my Smalls.
That's
Oh.
He's not going to be
small.
Smalls for long, but this is my Smalls.
Temporarily Smalls.
Yeah, he's a lot bigger than when I first got him.
Yeah, that's like Ash the cat. He was 4 pounds when we adopted him, and now he's up to 7, going on 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
He's
weighed
very
him yet.
hungry.
But yeah, he was 3.5 pounds when I got him. So, all right, you can go
Yeah.
down now.
Ash is going to be a chonker.
And I currently have Poe the dog under my desk right now by my feet.
He's a very sweet boy.
He is.
Again, thank you, Krogman's whiskey for not sponsoring the show, but you make delicious whiskey.
Yes, I posted a picture of
Thank
that
you for not
on our
sponsoring the
Twitter
show.
earlier.
Thank you for not sponsoring the show, but still helping us get through it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo, that persimmon and cinnamon whiskey is really good. It's super good.
Let's see if he'll be able to pronounce that by the end of the show.
Persimmon?
Persimmon and cinnamon.
Persimmon.
Oh, yeah, show title: Persimmon.
That's a great name.
Cinnamon?
Yeah. Oh, well, earlier, Susan was asking what I wanted to drink for the show. And she said, do you want bubble waters and whiskey? And I said, that's our podcast where we talk about our love life.
Yeah. Our non-existent podcast about our relationship.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway.
Not coming to a podcast network anytime soon.
No. So
It would be a very boring podcast.
it would.
We would just talk about our dog.
Yeah.
Boo!
Anywho,
Yeah. Anywho.
get into some news.
Let's get to, well, there's the business, first of all. We're at 500 Twitch
Mulan.
followers. Yeah, we're at 500 Twitch followers, and we want to thank you. So please look forward to myself and Quentin playing It Takes Two this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, September
Tomorrow.
4th and 5th. That is tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. BST for our folks across the pond. And then next episode 164, Vegan Pete of She Hills I Tank will be here live. Finally, meet Pete and Vegan Pete live on one episode together.
On this podcast.
On
You've
this
already done
pod-
it on theirs.
Well, I called in to rant about parasols. So, to be fair, I do not like the parasols. It's a pointless
But you
system.
did do the Rising event and got
I did the
your,
Rising.
your
That's like
parasol.
that's like a participation trophy. Like add a boy, here's your free umbrella. That's like getting a free lunchbox for like not going above and beyond at work. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'd take a free lunch still.
no, not lunch.
No, that's just an empty.
This is
I'd
not
take a
lunch.
free lunch box.
They're never great.
I have a bunch of random free stuff.
Oh, they're always like, you did it. And they say
Swag.
Shining Star on it and some like company logo.
I mean, all of our travel mugs that we have are work related.
At least they were nice. No, not this. I don't want to show because it's got our company name on it. Yeah, I can't show because it's got our company name
I
on it.
have a really nice, like
But it's like Yeti brand tumblers or whatever that they gave us.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I have some nice tumblers too.
This one, because I can cover the name and show it this way. This one that they gave me on my first day, it was not good.
Not good, no.
In fact, if you put hot coffee in this, it's supposed to keep the coffee hot. It does a great job of that. But also, the heat penetrates through the walls, and then the whole cup is piping hot. And they're like, how do you like the cup? I was like, well, my hands are now getting 3rd-degree burns, so just to give you a heads up on this. I mean, it's great in the winter if you want it like a travel mug that also warms your hands, but other than that, not great. So
I
they're
can't
like,
remember which one I have. It's not Yeti.
Is it the one from Walmart, like the Walmart brand?
No, it is a specific brand.
Doesn't strike me as a Walmart shopper.
No,
I
I got
feel
this
like
from
it's a-
work.
I feel like out of desperation you would shop at a Walmart.
Ozark Trail.
Nope.
All right.
All right,
'Cause-
we're getting into weeds
It's
here.
nice and
Let's
insulated though. It's a really good mug, but anyways, yeah.
get into the news.
Welcome to Mugstrom Radio, where we really talk about a lot of different mugs. Anyway, let's get into the news. Oh, jeez. Letter from the Producer Live, Part 66, is set for September 17th. Will include live interpretation from Japanese to English. This will be the the live producer letter that goes over the job changes. So finally, we're going to learn how Dark Knight will soon be #1 tank again, and then Paladin will fall from grace. I'm so sorry for Paladins. You're the box child. You're in the box. You're on the box. That means you suffer, and that's how it goes. As for Dark Knights, it's gonna be great. So
we're gonna learn about Sage and Reaper, right?
Yeah, we're gonna learn about all the things, all
class
of them.
changes.
Yeah, all of them. And guess what?
Did we look to see if it's going to be at the same time as our show?
I say.
So I was about to say that's the interesting thing with this. It will follow immediately after our show, so we might have bump our show up a little bit earlier so that we can coordinate that with. But we'll be able to basically run our show, and then when it comes to the end of our show, it starts at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. So we're gonna roll right into it.
Okay, cool.
Maybe a live reaction. We'll talk after the show.
We'll talk about and see what Maelstrom Radio is gonna actually do for this show. We might plan something, but at least you'll be able to come listen to us and go directly into the live letter. So if you're gonna stay up for it anyway, you might as well come and talk to us for an hour beforehand. Yes. You'll be able to wake up that way, fall asleep, and wake up again refreshed.
Yeah. Wait, did you just tell people everyone's going to fall asleep during our show to wake up refreshed? Did I catch that right? Okay, just making sure. All right.
Well, they're going to wake up because they hear the music from the twinning at the very beginning.
Okay.
You hear a long fall, and that wakes you up, and you get all hyper. And then they hear us talking, they hear our voices, and it just kind of lulls them back to sleep.
Oh.
And then they wake up towards the end, like we're super hyped.
Can I wake them up, like, as an alarm?
No.
That won't wake anybody up, right? No, okay. Kim Joy made a Final Fantasy 14 birthday cake. I promise I won't play all of them today.
The Kim Joy video is really adorable. I love her. I think she's great.
She's a fan of Final Fantasy, because if you go to her actual YouTube channel, I don't know if that's her new kitchen or if that was a staged kitchen. I think it was a staged kitchen.
When you watch her older videos, she's got little Final Fantasy trinkets and thingamabobs
all over like her actual kitchen. So I know she's a fan of Final Fantasy. I believe she just plays Final Fantasy 14. So we can guess her class. I would think culinarian. So that's me. Twinch.
Oh boy.
Twitch.
Our new streaming service.
Twinch. Oh boy, it's close, but no, you can't get sued. Twitch content creators are making a jump to YouTube gaming. Tim the Tatman and Dr. Lupo now have moved over to YouTube gaming. They got a better deal. I do not blame them. They're now gaming with, Dr. Disrespect, who is a learned doctor.
Yes, two doctors. Well, two doctors.
Two doctors, yeah. Now it's pretty much a medical show now over there.
And yet that's why I don't go over to YouTube.
Although, I was watching Asmongold made a video kind of giving his comments about it, and they were actually pretty, smart. Because, their YouTube is, kind of picking and choosing who they're bringing over, and they're bringing people that will, kind of work together and grow each other's audiences, and they're not just taking really big people, they're taking mid-sized people, so they're trying to really be smart about the moves they're making with who they sign on.
They've already lost to Facebook, and they've lost to Twitch.
Who's watching Facebook stuff?
You'd be surprised. A lot of people. But
I mean,
because it's there, it's integrated into their app and their webpage, so people can just click on gaming and watch streaming. So you'd be surprised. Go ahead.
We talked this about a little bit last week as well, and it might have been off stream, but Mixer was actually a good competitor to Twitch, and being with Microsoft and being integrated with Xbox, that was a legitimate attempt at going against them. But YouTube and Facebook both are small as to not be recognized.
It's a good thing if YouTube really tries to bump up their game, because it'll force Twitch to be better, right?
Yeah.
Hope so. I mean, that kind of leads into the next story about Twitch.
Yeah,
they're not doing great.
No, they're not.
Speak of the devil. Look who just followed us.
Yeah, speak of the devil.
Got it.
Twitch users boycott over attacks targeting black, queer, and disabled people. If you've just seen in our chat, Haas00312.
There's like tons of iterations of like that particular combination of name, along with like a bunch of other names, and there're just all these crazy bots all over the place on Twitch.
Eventually, they'll start running up. Yeah, wait till they get to 6. It's gonna be real. And Fiddleback in chat says, "Huh?" with the underscore. Fiddleback's not a bot. Haas00312 is a Boston. If you're a streamer and you're hearing this and that has followed you recently, ban it. Ban every iteration of it. Because it's a bot and it's trying to it may not necessarily target you with a hate raid, but it might.
We can't prove that Fiddleback is not a bot.
It's true.
To be fair, there is a Haas that is a legitimate person. They have mentioned this on Twitter. However, they've also pointed out that they are not going to go around and follow anybody anytime soon because they don't want to.
Yeah, that kind of sucks for the Haas's out there.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah, there are a few other people. We've had other people that
to
are
be a Haas,
like,
apparently.
And we've also seen bots that are impersonating others' accounts. So be very, very careful about who you click on, who you get followed by, etc.
It's just frustrating because Twitch isn't doing a great job of like helping people protect themselves. Like there's a lot of like behind the scenes, like streamer to streamer, channel to channel, giving each other like tips and tricks and like making lists of names that like seem bad, and it sucks. I mean, we're like a very small potatoes channel, so like, you know, we don't have to worry as much, but I'm still a little nervous. Like if Peter streams by himself and doesn't have a mod in the channel, like I feel bad if I'm not there to like catch something if something weird happens, because we don't want like weird hate shit in our channel.
Luckily, Streamlabs has given us a abort button, so
yeah, there's like,
an
emergency like oh shit button.
Yeah, so I'll be okay if that does happen. It's scary to think that like myself or Quentin can't stream with like the Hispanic / you know, I can't stream with the Hispanic / Cuban tag.
Yeah, like if you put some kind of like distinctive tag, you're just like opening yourself up to
trouble. Like
somebody
like,
trying to
I still will.
You.
Yeah, I mean, I still will. Like it's not like it's part of who I am.
We threw the feminine tag on there tonight, so I don't know.
Maybe that's why we got a bot follower.
Yeah, probably. They were like, ooh.
We were fine with LGBTQIA and Hispanic, but now with feminine. They're going for the smaller tags now.
Yeah, smaller and small. Next, they'll just go for the weird ones like
League of Legends. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not. No, you're not wrong. So that is all the news. And if you're a streamer out there, and just protect yourself, just know where you can. You know, just watch the news if you're part of a community that is getting attacked. You know, I feel for you. We stand by everybody that took the day off. We don't normally stream on Wednesdays, but we stood by everybody that did not stream on Wednesday. So it's a bummer. It's Fiddleback. This is why I only ever streamed in my own Discord. It's honestly the safest place to stream. So you know. And we weren't mad at the people that were contractually obligated to stream that day or needed to do it for their money. So we understand, like, you know, if this is how you make your cheddar, got to make your cheddar. Can't, you know, it is what it is. But we're here to talk about Final Fantasy and specifically making static groups in game. And Susan, you're the one that was like, I want to talk about groups.
Yeah, I brought up this topic because I feel like it's relevant to Final Fantasy and to all games. Like, as adults playing a game with other adults, you'd think it would be, like, kind of easy and, yeah, it's not.
Speaking from experience, because you've been putting together groups for the last little while.
I know, and, like, because I like being in a group. I like having a set appointment to game. I like the comfort and stability of that. I don't like having to like find people at random whenever I feel like doing a thing because that feels stressful to me.
Mhm.
Like it's nice to have a group where I can like kind of filter the people and but even doing that is like a pain in the ass and like people are so flaky. It's like I don't want to like turn this into a session where it's just like Susan talks shit about the people that she's gamed with behind their backs. I don't
How
want
can
it
you
to be
talk bad about us behind our backs when you're on
Yes.
our show?
So the three of us are in a group that was formed. I don't know, was it like maybe like a month or two ago. It's newish,
Yeah.
and even then,
Oh,
in this,
it was at least 2 months ago, maybe more, because Peter wasn't able to come for the first month.
that's true.
So you literally formed a group, and then Peter immediately dipped out.
Yeah,
I didn't dip. That wasn't a dip.
and this isn't a group that's doing like cutting edge, like end game difficult content. This is like a very chill. Like we're gonna go back and do old stuff so that we don't have to try very hard. It's basically just, you know. We just need to get 8 people together, and they just have to show up. They don't, they don't need any specific gear. They don't need any mastery of their job or anything like that.
You need to unlock your
Yeah, you just need to have the thing
quest
unlocked.
stuff we're
That's it.
doing, and you need to have enough gear to do it.
And like, it just started out with me wanting to do something with our friend Lindsay. That's how it began. It's like I just want to hang out with Lindsay because I think she's cool, and she and I never get to really like hang out together because she's got a lot going on in her schedule. So like, we agreed on a time that we're both free, and then I just had to find 6 other people to fill in the gaps. So here's 2 right here, perfect. And
Hi.
then,
I'm a gap
asked her.
filler.
Yeah, thank you. And then I asked around to some people in our FC and some people that we know. And I even like kind of branched out to try and find new friends because it's good to try and make new friends as an adult. I learned that there's a
It's very hard.
I learned that there's a Final Fantasy 14 girls Discord where it's ladies only or female identifying humans only. So I found some people from there to fill in. So I don't think the whole time that we've been going, these 2.5, almost 3 months, maybe, I don't think we've had the same 8 people in the group once.
No.
Why? Why is it
No,
so
'cause I
hard? Why do people commit to things
Well-
and then they don't show up? We had someone that said, "Hey, I will help you. I will be there that day. Awesome. I will help fill in." And she immediately did not be there and said that she had a prior appointment that lasted the whole time our session was. Why would you say that you would help out? Why? Okay, this is turning into this is turning into the Susan bitching about group session.
I know at least a couple, like, we did have a bunch of stuff that was out of our control, right? Like the first month and a half or so, Peter wasn't able to make it because he had account problems that we've talked about previously and
Yes.
couldn't join us.
Please
And
refer
then
to
when he
past
came
episodes for
back,
that saga.
right, like then he came back, and within a week or two, Lindsay is suddenly out now because of her own personal problems that they're going through, and hasn't been able to join us since then. So we really haven't had a whole lot of luck in like real life situations with this group either.
Seems like it only gets more difficult when the content is more
Difficult.
challenging, would you say?
When you start scheduling things, I think things get challenging, because even back like 15 years ago when I used to lead raids and actually do like raid content 3 times a week, trying to get a full group of 24 people, that was how many, I needed in the game I played, was almost near impossible. We were constantly recruiting, we were constantly looking for backup people, we were constantly having people level alts because someone would miss out on a class and we'd have to switch. Like, I don't think, unless you are like a progression focused group, that's like everyone, like you have to try out, you have to make sure you're focused, you're doing
it's
this.
very like hive mind.
Right, then you have a shared goal, you're like very, very focused, everyone wants to be there. And then there's a whole bunch of drama on top of that, which is generally just not worth it. So like outside of that scenario, trying to actually get people to show up is very difficult.
You'd think that things would be easier in the age of like Discords and you can instantly get in touch with someone any time, but that makes it like harder. Like even in the like again, in the short time we've had the group that we're in, we've had to change where the Discord activity happens 3 times. Like it started out in just a DM because I'm like, that's easy. We'll just have it in a DM and then all 8 of us will just be together and we'll just talk in there and whatever. And then we had to add someone as a fill-in, so then we went to somebody else's Discord. But then that got weird because then all the other people in that Discord wanted to be in on our thing, even though we were a set group. So then we moved it to its own. Now it has its own separate Discord channel, separate from all other Discords.
Special.
Super duper best friend group.
Yeah. Yes.
You had the perfect soundboard opportunity and you missed it. Anyways.
What did I have for that?
So get in touch with everybody, like.
Get in touch with your wizard.
But
Yeah, you missed it though.
But there was
Opportunity's gone.
But there was no wizard.
Does it matter? You
They're called
got
black
out.
mages.
Yeah. That's the
Fine.
wizard. But yeah, so
but
Peter,
yeah, okay.
Peter, you mentioned that for Endwalker, you wanted to start like a not serious rating group, but like you wanted to work on. I don't know what that sound was either. There was a weird sound outside of her house that I tried to ignore, but Peter did not.
It was very loud. I thought maybe it was the cat, but the cat's probably in her office. So.
I think the cat's in my office.
Oh
I can't
no!
tell.
Well, something bad has happened, and we don't know where the cat is.
But anywho, Peter, you mentioned that for Endwalker, you want to try to take a crack at being in like a serious.
So
I don't want to use. I don't know what other term to use besides serious, but like a focused,
a static
group.
Just say a static group.
Okay. Is that the proper term?
Yes, and I think the idea there though is that, and I've talked to Lindsay, is that we want to focus the group on people we know and can trust to be there, and not argue with other people. Like,
yeah, but you're inviting Sean to the group.
But Sean will be there because Lindsay won't let Sean not be there.
We're just outing everybody on this episode.
So, but honestly, yeah. But the thing is, like, Sean still wants to play the game to actually see if he likes it before he commits to it.
If Sean plays, he'll be there because Sean is a good player. He is a good raider. He's consistent. He's reliable. If he plays the game.
And Sean's got that weird brain where he just can like figure out any class you put in front of him. Like he's got that weird, like he doesn't need to look up a guide. He just like, okay, like hit these buttons, big numbers happen. And then that's how Sean works.
He was playing Machinist last I remember.
He still was.
they make big numbers.
They make big numbers. So so Sean wants to play more, and his friend that plays Tarkov with him plays Final Fantasies on our server.
Is that dude going to be in the group?
I didn't say that yet. So I didn't go that far. Let's not start saying things that won't happen or not. So I don't know. Like so far, it's Lindsay and I. We haven't gone. Sean's a maybe. Lindsay wants you to raid. I'm gonna be real honest. Like Lindsay wants you there because
that's another layer of complication in raiding.
Because
raiding
Lindsay,
as a couple.
Well, Lindsay wants you there because one, she likes having you there. The same reason why you wanted to start this small group with her. She wants vice versa. She wants you to do the harder stuff. Two, I think also like on the higher end stuff, I think there's always like this pressure of like you got to show up and know what you're doing and do it well, right? But there's also
figure out your melds, get your gear fast.
Yes, but there's people that understand like, hey, that are just responsible, and like Susan's very responsible, and
I'll show up and I'll be there on time and I'll have the like proper food and I'll have the best gear that I can get, but I'm not good at learning fights and I'm not good at pushing buttons good.
But you are though, like it's all repetitive.
What person do you choose for the raid group? The person that's like more skillful but like is late?
But I don't think that's the case because we've learned what's it called, this Memoria fight, is that what it's called?
Memoria Misera.
Yeah, Memoria Misera. We learned that, like, and you figured that out, like, and that's a very like high moving fight. Like there's a lot of movement in that fight. There's a lot of like got to stand here with this group. It's not necessarily the hardest fight in the game.
It's a straightforward mechanics fight.
But it is straightforward mechanics, but it easily can mess up and kill the whole group mechanics as well. Like you could easily like stand in the wrong way and set an X in the wrong direction. Like it's all about learning the dance, right? And if everybody knows like, all right, if we learn this section of the dance and everybody has it down, you move on to the next section of the dance. You just keep pushing until you learn the whole dance, and then eventually the thing dies, right? It's not about DPS numbers. It's about learning the dance. And that's way more important than the DPS numbers. And I think that's way more important. There's a lot of people that put the other way around, and those groups fail instantly because big numbers are nice, but if nobody's paying attention and learning the fight, then what's the point? Like nobody's going to learn anything. So
I want to play a thing with friends, but then I get very nervous about being the worst person on the team.
But not to make this episode about like your insecurities, but you're not the worst person on the team. Like I can tell you that. Like multiple people can tell you that you are not the worst person.
Tell me who is the worst person on the team. Can we out them?
Yeah,
I
not
looked,
here.
Probably.
Yes, I mean we could if we looked, but no, not here. But it doesn't matter.
I've been on the bottom before.
Yeah, it's the same. But Dark Knight, but also Dark Knight. Don't why are you facepalming? Don't facepalm. This is a family show. It's if you're doing stuff like our other group is like it's a very casual group, so I expect people not to show up some days because it is a very casual thing. Because
I'm trying to be very like, yeah, it's cool if you don't want to show up, we'll just find someone else, and we just find someone else and bring them in. And
I also think that there needs to come a point where it's like, all right, we're also doing old content. And unless that old content, like somewhere says, hey, listen, if you're pushing now in your current gear set an expansion later, do you need a full party? Do you need like, can we get away with 6 people? They might have to push a little harder and to make up the DPS to kill the thing, but we'd probably be okay because we'd probably out health it or whatever the case. Like we've done fights now with 1 healer. And you know,
we've never had 2 healers.
We never had. Oh, so good. Like we're at that point where we're like, okay, we don't even need 2 healers. We only need 1. We've had 3
like
tanks.
2 expansions behind.
We have many tanks.
No, we're 1 expansion behind.
We're 1. And we've had 3 tanks. So I think if we want to have somebody fill in just for the fun of having an extra person there that might need a mount, sure. But you know, also accepting like, okay, do we really need to fill the role? Do we need to break our backs?
Yeah, I always feel like if I have a spot, I always want to like make
but you don't have to
feel included. Well, that's my burden as a group maker and a like FC leader or whatever. Like I want everyone to be involved and have a good time.
But I think if you let that go, you're like, all right, we'll try it, and if not, then we can go and say, hey, does anybody want to do a thing? Now I can understand having somebody there and ready. And like saying, hey, we might, but it's hard to know. Like, how do we know what level we need people to be to go do that stuff, right? Like, okay, everyone has to have this eye level to go beat the stuff with 6 people, 1 healer, rest DPS, 1 tank, or whatever the case, or 3 tanks in our situation, and a gaggle of DPS and 1 healer. So it's
if you look at our group, when we start getting closer to the harder stuff, so even probably like Tsukuyomi, and especially as we get into Shadowbringers, we're probably not going to be able to take 3 tanks.
Yeah,
but all of our 3 tanks only have 1 single class leveled, and that's tank. So either one of the tanks is going to have to drop out, or they're going to have to level another class at this point.
Yeah,
and it's like that's not a like that's just a fact. Like we can't take 3 tanks, and we can't hard carry an entire person.
Yeah, and part of why I wanted to make this group with like people I knew is like some of the fights are like some of the fights you can just go in the party finder and find people. But
right.
It's nicer to have like a group that you can communicate with and are comfortable with to like figure out some of these fights that are like on the border of being
how
like,
people work
easier, but like still have a couple of mechanics that you need to like coordinate or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we have all our birds now.
Yeah,
Yay.
True.
I had that beforehand, but yeah, everybody's got birds, which is great.
I find birds too.
I finally got my dumb dragon dog, and never to go see the well, no, we do because there's one person that needs it, but listen, like So done with that dragon. I will help people go get that dragon because I understand the struggle, like having had run it at level, and not getting it. So if I can go help people get it, so they don't have to like cry anymore and feel pain like I have felt, then we can go in there as many times as we need. Also, I'm teaching another Dark Knight tricks of the things that I've learned over time. Like a lot of people are like, oh, using arm's length and plunge. Nope, just plunge. Plunge will stop a pushback. So that's a fun fact. Dark Knight's little slightly OP in older content. So newer content not so much because not good. But if you're a Dark Knight, by the way, pushback, plunge. We'll get you through a lot of messes. So
sure cast.
So to talk more about this future raiding group that's going to happen for Endwalker.
Yeah.
So if I'm in this group with you and Lindsay and whoever other people or whatever, and I'm bad, are you going to kick me out? Are you going to have a talk with me?
Like like instantly kick you out? Like you're bad, I get out. Like that? Or do we sit down and say, hey, like, all right, so if you want my honest opinion, if you're not learning the fights, right? If you're like purposely not learning the fights, that's where you're bad. I don't care about your DPS. I care about you learning the fight. Like later on, your DPS will matter, but learning the fight's way more important. You're the type of person that will push and go get gear because you're a completionist and you like, if anything, you like competing with me. So if you somehow can beat the arbitrary number that says, like, oh, I'm one better at you in gear score, then that makes you feel better, and that's fine. Because you like to.
You can press like 3 buttons and be a DPS. So
that's also true, but that's fine. I'm a tank. Like I don't expect to do.
Awesome.
So, but you're also.
Well, I am happy that I switched. I finally found a DPS job that I feel comfortable with because when I first started playing, I was a monk and I didn't know what to do. It was just like, here, just pick this. Okay. Because I really just had no idea about Final Fantasy when I started playing it, so I just picked whatever. Like, oh, punch things. Okay, I can punch.
And I think that's the other thing.
And then I switched to Black Mage, which is cool because I get to be at a safe distance, but I can't move, and you need to know where to stand, and you gotta like master that slide casting and figure out your ley lines, and it was a little too big brained for me. Now I play Dancer and buttons light up and I push those buttons. And I get to help people. I have like a shield and the healing powers.
It makes fun sounds.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why Black Mage is probably like always usually pretty high up on like doing DPS because one, it's the main class that OCP plays. And I always tend to think that people that create the games, whatever the class they like the most is usually the best, usually the most of the times.
I don't think it's top DPS.
Is it not currently? There's a lot of movement.
So.
There's been a lot of movement fights lately, so maybe not.
Yeah. So, I think to make sure that it doesn't get underpowered, but I don't think it's top.
That's not too bad. I honestly, also Final Fantasy does a pretty good job of trying to keeping things as equal as the best as they can, as compared to other MMOs where some classes will outweigh one's way better. Like this now is trash, and we made a change where this whole thing is your whole thing that you've been playing for the last month is now trash, and you'll have to change to play and be competitive, and that makes people upset. So way to go, other MMOs that do that. But I also think it's about finding the class I think that one you're comfortable with, two you like playing. And 3, it's the class that you feel like you like. For example, I love playing Dark Knight. I like the concept of Dark Knight. I like the original set of Dark Knight, like, managing my mana. And I still get that. Like, I know they changed it over time, and I talked about that with Chili and Paul when they did the Dark Knight Paladin class chat.
Yeah.
And so I still get a little bit. Now I'm managing different things, right? I'm managing my blood gauge. I'm still managing my mana, but it's a different rotation and things like that. I'm not super excited about it because there were some things that I really liked that they got rid of that I hope they bring back or change in the future. But it's always a class I like, right? I like the style, I like the design. I have fun playing it. I really enjoy how it plays. and I haven't gone back to Paladin to level it up to 80 to see if I like how they've made change. Like they've fixed it, right? Overall, they said they've made changes to Paladin where it's a lot more fun to play. I've not done that. I might go do that. I might try a Warrior out because I think that also looks pretty fun.
I feel like you would play Warrior before Paladin.
I probably will.
Like you'd enjoy Warrior before Paladin.
Probably. And like,
I leveled up Gunbreaker. I have Gunbreaker to 80. I don't know what I'm doing with it, but I have it.
Same.
You're making
Glamour.
White Mages sad.
Same with like I like Samurai a lot, and like a lot of people like know Samurai is like my slow, like I'll bring it into like Palace of the Dead or something like that and level it up on like a weird like off group. Because I like playing Samurai. Like I like the like collect stickers, blow things up. Collect stickers, blow things up. Like it's very like a lot of people are like that class is hard. Like no, it's not. Just collect stickers, blow things up. Like it's so hard. Collect all your stickers, blow things up. So you know, Ninja is the one I want to go back and I'd probably like actually learn because I know there's like the Mudras and stuff like that, and like you got that's a lot of a memory game with that one. So. So the people that really like high level play Ninja have my respect because I don't know how you do it.
So to get back to raiding and group making, so with both of you, like, do you like to be the maker of the group, or you rather just be in a group that's already going and you just have to show up?
I'm co-leading this with Lindsay. I asked Lindsay to help me with it, so I don't have to like. I'll.
Just from my experiences with you, I feel like you always want to be the leader of the group. You want to lead it, but I'm not saying you're present.
I'm shaking my head no, 'cause that's not true. That is
you're
not
the
true.
FC leader. You're in charge of a lot of things. Whether you,
I'm good at delegating.
You start a thing and then other people run a thing.
Yeah, but they're really good at that part. So, like, I mean, if we, I don't want to like go out of order, but like, I mean, but you'd ask me that, like, how do you, like, you said, how to, like, if you were doing bad, right? How do you talk to somebody in such a way that one, like, if you actually had to kick somebody out without making them upset, right? Like, I've had that talk with my, like, people have had that talk with me, and like.
I've never had to have that talk with someone, and I have no idea how I would do that.
Like I've had that talk. Like people have had that talk.
Like there's no way to like tell someone in like a polite.
You can though. There is a polite way. I mean, it just depends on how they take it, but there is a polite way and say, hey, listen, like you are learning the fights, which is great. And then you try to give them a chance. Like, can I help? If you say, hey, is there anything I can do to help you get to where you need to be? This is where you should be, and I will work with you. You know, if it's material you need, or if it's understanding how to meld things, or understanding what your melding is, or going to the balance Discord and learning that stuff. How can I help you succeed? Because I think you're a good fit with us. You're like think about it. Like if you're chemistry, you have great chemistry with the group. If you take, you know, like learning like shouts well, and you learn the dance, but your DPS is the last thing holding you back. If a group's willing to work with you and bring that up, that's great. If you're being difficult about bringing that up because you feel like you're doing well and it's holding everybody else back, that's when somebody has to sit down and say, hey, listen, you're holding everybody else back. And we've tried to help you, and you're now saying that you don't want that help and you're not doing anything to improve yourself. We need to get somebody else different unless you're willing to change. And if say, hey, I'm not willing to change, well, then I'm sorry, you can't be here.
Just to draw on past experiences, Peter, you and I were in a group for a while in Final Fantasy that was very frustrating. Like we were stuck on a fight like forever, like for the longest time. It was really, really, really frustrating.
There was a lot wrong. I mean, I don't want to get it into like
there was a lot of like bad personality clashing.
There was
happening.
There was a lot of bad personality clashing. There was people that didn't really understand their classes too much, like.
I was playing Black Mage.
There was like a lot of like, I think you're a much better dancer. I'm not saying that you were a bad Black Mage. I think you weren't the greatest Black Mage, but you're a great dancer. Like you are truly a good dancer. And I mean, dancers are a great starting class. And if you can master it, I think you understand it well enough to play it at not the highest end of levels, but not the low, like you're above middle, but you're not high end. Does that make sense? Like you're like
I'm
advanced.
adequate. Yeah.
Yeah, like you could get through harder content easy. You know, are you going to be like the best dancer on the charts?
I just don't want to be the worst.
So
But I don't think you'd be that either.
you'll be the worst dancer if we only have one. Also
Yeah.
the best.
So hey,
I think one of the things that's important with a lot of these groups, and one of the things that a lot of groups have difficulty with, is ego. A lot of people bring their ego into it and take a lot of things personally, and it's very similar to like when you go to work or when you go to different functions and things. Like, it's not a personal attack if you're not able to meet what the group is trying to do, and if the group is trying to help you get there and you aren't able to get there, or you're not willing to get there, then it's beneficial for both parties to end that relationship and to go into something else. And I think that's what a lot of people, that's when a lot of the trouble gets in, and when a lot of the drama starts coming, is when people bring in their egos and they think that they're the best of everything. And like, no, there's like 5 people that are really great at everything, and like everyone else has to work on it. Like, we're not top tier world first people, and even the top tier world first people are not the best at what they do. They make mistakes, they learn, they keep going, but they learn, and that's the really important thing. And a lot of them probably do have very big egos, but at the same time, they also have that experience to kind of go through it. Like, a lot of people come in, and to go back to the job analogy here, it's like someone who is freshly out of school comes in and expects to be a CEO right away. Like, you can't. You need to learn, you need to figure out what you're doing. And sure, some people will rise really, really fast, and they'll get really, really great, and they'll get into great groups, they'll do really, really well, they'll learn fast, they'll get the fights done. And other people will take a little bit of time, and they'll slowly get adjusted to everything as they go through it all. But it's not something that really should be taken personally. Or like, if, like, for example, if I was in a raid group with you guys and Peter's like, hey, you're not putting out the heals that we need, we're dying too much. First of all of you get out of the AoEs, but second of all, that's on me to go and look through my stuff to figure out, okay, am I actually putting out the numbers that I need? Can I compare myself against others around my tier, around my same skill level? How does that all play out? And if I can't find anything and the group can't find anything, then, well, I'm sorry, there's nothing else I can really do here. We've tried whatever we could, and it's not working.
Stop standing in the poop.
If I refuse... Sorry?
Said stop standing in the poop.
Exactly.
That's the lesson.
Red Mage heal, or Res. But if I'm not able to put out that heal numbers that we need for the fight, then we need to work together. Maybe I need to do different melds. Maybe I need to reallocate different stats, different pieces. Maybe I need to farm something else a little bit more, get my gear score up. Maybe I need to just alter my rotation in order to make sure certain spells go out at certain times or right before certain abilities. Or maybe, like we said, the raid group needs to adjust in order to not stand in a specific thing so that I can actually get heals off properly and no one dies. But that's kind of what working in that static is the entire group of people working together towards that common goal. And if you have one person who thinks that they're better than the other 7 people, or that they're more important than those other 7 people, then there's going to start being that conflict between them and others. And that's when you start getting that whole feeling of, I am better than they are worse than me. And that starts creating tension between people.
And it's like, I really want to go into every experience with like, this is a game. This is just a dumb game.
Right.
Like, I don't want to take this too seriously. I want to have fun. But then it's like, my brain like workifies a lot of things that should be fun. And like, I can get myself stressed out over really dumb, meaningless stuff and like take things personally. And like, I just want to have fun in a dumb game.
I think also...
Why am I making spreadsheets?
I think, well...
Because you want to.
There's a lot of people that just want to do that. I think also it comes down to like other experiences in other games, right? Like having gone back to another MMO like we did last year and raided in that MMO reminded me maybe why I don't want to raid in at that that sort of MMO anymore. Even though I enjoyed the raid and some of the fights and stuff that we did, I think the problem is that now you have the ability, instead of very focused like 8 people we can like pick and choose and really like focus. Like if one bad apple, right, it's better than 6 bad apples, or 6 people that have the potential of wanting to do something very different and then being thrown into something like, for example, like that raiding group was supposed to be
Casual.
I even said at the beginning, this is casual. This is going to be just a casual group. We're going to have some fun. It may take us a little bit longer. And I was supposed to have help from
there was a divide that happened between the casual people,
and then I was supposed to have help from 2 other people. One had personal issues. The other one didn't know how to help. Like, he was just very lost in the sauce when it came to like. And then I was like, all right, so
we called everybody out on the show.
It's not a honestly, it's not a call out. It has nothing to be a call out. It's not a call out. It's not a call out whatsoever. Like, no one should be upset. Like, it is what it is. Like, it was a learn. At the end of the day, we got through it, right? And it took a little extra work, but we ended up getting through it. But I think at the end of the day, though, you're right. It was a divergence. There's people that wanted to do harder stuff and get there faster, right? And there's people that were like cool with just doing the normal. So
I think that's any game. I don't think that's specific to
no. But there's I think
other
you have
games or Final Fantasy.
No, I think you have a higher chance with Final Fantasy, or I'm sorry, a lower chance of Final Fantasy, where in World of Warcraft, where it's like, okay, you can do 10 to 20 some odd people and everything in between because they have that flex rating, right? So I think that it's the idea of like, okay, you have, let's say 8 people that want to go continue that casual section, and then you have another 6 people who are like want to push harder than that. And that's where the problem is, right? Like the math may be the same, but it's like you have a lot more voices going back and forth at each other, where you might only have 1 or 2, here versus that. So that's where I'm at with that. Does that make sense? I feel like that didn't make sense. You're both very quiet and like looking at me strangely.
No, I was looking strangely because I saw Streamlabs post something. I didn't realize that Susan had a new command.
Yeah. I didn't.
Because I had all this stuff that I was just copying and pasting in there. I'm like, why don't I just make commands? That's what it's for.
So
good idea.
I made a little reminder so that, when it gets towards the end of the show, a couple of things that people stick around so that we can raid someone without it being interruptive to the show, which just defeats the purpose of that.
Sorry. Well, no.
First time cost.
Yeah, it's fine. But anyway, it's still like the concept of just having more bodies, right? Means you have more, like you said, ego. You have more chances for ego to blow up. Where here we have 8, and might just be 1 person, and it's easier to replace 1 person than it is to place 6. So
You'd think.
I agree. You'd think, but early on, but also, like I said, like Lindsay and I are like, I work well with Lindsay. Like I've worked well with Lindsay in the past. Like if we select the right people, like it's gonna be just like humorous and fun, and we'll get through the content. Like Lindsay's groups that she's in, like Lindsay's group she's in currently are still working through things. So like it's not that there's groups we know that are still working through things. It's not a big deal as long as you're with the right people, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Is if you're with the right people that just want to see it through and you're having a good time doing it. That's what matters most. Right?
So to kind of wrap up the topic, each of you, what's one little nugget of wisdom or advice that you can give for someone wanting to have a positive rating experience?
I'll go first. Know that you're not going to be world first. Right? Don't aim to be world first. Aim to have fun. Make the point of it is that, hey, we get to kill the boss, right? The idea is a group activity where you kill the boss, right? And then if you have a weakness, work through it at the end of the day. But make your goal at the end of everything is that we had some laughs, we had some things. Did we kill the boss? Yes or no? But have fun at the end of it. Like that's the only thing I can say is that from all my years of rating, numbers, DPS, all that crap does not matter. having fun with your friends is what is the most important thing at the end of the day. If you can get 8 of your friends together and you can kill bosses, that's what's important. And then you have more fun that way. That's don't treat it like a job. Just have fun. It's a dumb game.
So mine's similar. I would say lower your expectations. Don't assume you're going to walk in and clear things. It's going to take a long time. As good as you might be in regular content, you are not going to be the best person of your class generally. You are not going to be the top. You're not going to find 7 other people who are also the same. You might run into find people that you don't get along with. You might find people that don't necessarily pull the weight that you think that they should be doing, that they should be pulling. But if you want to be successful, and particularly if you want to be happy in this, don't assume that everyone's going to rise to the level that you want to be at. Not necessarily even the level you are at, but just the one that you want them to be, because everyone does play their own way. They have their own way of doing things. And if you don't have that expectation of other people, including yourself, you'll be a lot happier than if you go into it and you expect other people to do a certain thing and they don't. So that would be my advice. And my second one is, if you can't do that, then you probably don't want to be raiding, because it will make you upset.
Raiding isn't for everybody.
That's as someone who has gone the whole gamut of casual raiding, casual hardcore raiding, and world first progging in other games, that is my advice.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Spoilers, I have done world first progging in the past.
Who knew?
I
have another, like,
He did.
we learned about Quentin episode to get into those stories.
Oh,
We got another 162 episodes.
Yeah.
yeah. Did we ever talk about? We did. We talked about our rating with on our old episodes. Not recently, but when we did Binding Coil. So
Possibly, yeah.
yeah. I think.
So before we wrap up, Susan, we started this episode talking about how you've been organizing all these raid groups and whatnot recently, and I wanted to end with asking you, given your experience with all of this recently, what advice would you give to others who are interested in putting together a group?
I would say be patient, be polite, because like we have our little friend group, but then also when we did Memoria, I put something out on the Party Finder, and we had like 6 strangers in our Discord, and like it was fine. Everyone was nice. Like, we were polite, and we like put our expectations up front to say like, we're gonna just give this a go and we'll try it, and it wound up being really fun and we got it clear. So I mean, be polite. Don't set your expectations too high. Be patient. And don't be a dick.
As Quentin said in chat, be kind, be you. Thank you, Hottie Chicken.
That's Hottie Chicken's
Yeah.
motto.
Stick the words of Hottie Chicken. She knows what's up.
She does.
She's
know
a
what's
raider.
up. She is a raider. It's true.
Yeah.
So, I think is that it? Did we do it? I think we did it.
did it.
With that being said, for those who are watching live, come check us out tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be streaming It Takes Two. We'll continue if we don't complete it tomorrow, which we shouldn't. We're not streaming the entire game. We'll be continuing it again on Sunday at the exact same time. So please come out, watch us, support us, and we'll see you then. For those who are listening on the recorded episode, we just played through It Takes Two this past weekend. If you want to watch what's going on, check out the VODs.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And thank you all for joining us.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Thanks for everyone that showed up in chat.
Thank you. We do appreciate you. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Susan. I like when you're on, because it's a different show when you're here. You give us hell live. So Quentin, thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow. So, and everyone else, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow too. So, you know what that means. Thanks. As always, till sea swallows all. Keep listening.
Maelstrom Radio is brought to you by maelstromradio.com and Blackfire Media. Produced by Flatus, Shintier, and Susan Sprinkle. Join us live Fridays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/maelstromradio. Send email to show@maelstromradio.com, tweet us at maelstrom_radio, or join our Discord at maelstromradio.com/discord. Views and opinions expressed by our hosts and guests do not reflect the views and opinions of any companies discussed on today's show.